Hello, greetings. We are back again with our divisions. So this is mathematics paper 1. We continue with our divisions. Last time we ended on question number 4. So in today's lesson, we are going to proceed and look at other questions. So since we are breaking them down, you need to understand that there are questions that get to come under AP, so you need to know how to solve questions under AP, arithmetic progression. We also need to look at the probability. So you need to understand questions under probability. We also look at the eighth geometry. So these are the topics that I want to focus on so much. So AP, probability, and eighth geometry. So these are three, and I want you to get them and understand them. For instance, we start with the AP. You are given a question to say, they may give you to say that for the sequence, they say maybe 5 like this, then they put 12 there, they put 19 there, then it is just going like that. You are given this sequence. Then you'll be told to say find. They may ask you a question to say find. Maybe A, they tell you to say find the what? Find the sixth term. They may tell you to say find the sixth term. And the next question, they may tell you to say find the nth term. These are two questions. These are exam questions. So I'm just selecting them from different past papers. So you're given these two questions. So before you go any further, it is very important to understand the formulas that we get to use here. So we get to have the formula for the nth term. You also need to understand the formula for the sum of the nth term. So all those formulas, you are supposed to know them. So starting with the formula, since here they are saying sixth term, they are talking about terms here. So the formula we are going to use is the formula for what? Term. Formula for the nth term. What is that particular formula? So you say solutions. Straight away you jump into the question. Sixth term. The formula is Tn is equal to A plus open bracket n minus 1 cross and a d. So this is our formula. So you need to make sure that you master this particular formula, where you know that A is the first term, n is the nth term, the number of terms that you're looking for, sixth term. So meaning our n is going to be 6. D, that is the common difference, the difference between the two consecutive terms. So I say, okay, first of all, I need to find the common difference for me to answer this particular question. How do we find the common difference? We get to say second term minus first term. Or you can say third term minus second term. So second minus first, third minus second. These are two formulas. You can use this particular formula or you can use this one. So the choice is yours. Some of you are getting confused because you are thinking as if this is geometric progression. No, this is AP, the one that comes in paper 1, where you don't use a calculator. So what are we going to do here? What is our second term? This is the first term. This one is the second term. This is the third term. So what we are going to do for us to answer this question, I say common difference is equal to, what is our second term? 12 minus, what is our first term? That is 5. So the answer is 7 if you do some subtraction there. So you get what? 7. This is a 7D. N is 6. A is what? 5. So you know that A is 5. This is the data that we have. N is 6. Sixth term. Then we get to have the D, common difference, which is a 7. We get this formula, then we get these values, substitute them in this particular formula. So what are we going to do? T, I say T like this. So that is T6 is equal to, what is A? First term. which is 5, plus what is n? N, which is 6, minus 1, then a 7 outside. We can do this at once. This is 5, then 6 minus 1, 5. 5 times 7, that is 35. So plus what? Plus 35. Finally, the sixth term is equal to what? Is equal to 40. So meaning this is our answer. This is how you are supposed to answer it. Going now to this particular question where you are told to find the nth term. How can you find the nth term? You only get to find the nth term when you are told to do what? When you are told, let's say, that. So let me write first the formula. This same formula, this. So A plus n minus 1, then D. So I want to submit this to you. When you are told to find the nth term, they are not telling you to just write the formula. I know these are mistakes that you get to make in an exam where you just go direct, you write the formula. No, they are interested in you finding or substituting in two values, the value for A and the value for D. These are the two values that you are supposed to substitute in this particular formula. So even when this question comes in paper 2, you write the formula for GP nth term and you just substitute these two values, first term and the other. Under GP, we don't say common difference, we say common ratio. So I substitute in the two values. What is my first term? I know my first term is what? 5. I put a 5 there plus n will maintain because I'm just told to write the formula. What is the common difference? 7. I now substitute this. I say, okay, this is now equal to n like 5. 7 times n plus 7n. Have you seen negative 1 times 7? Negative 7. This is what you are going to have. So meaning that we can further conclude this and say nth term is equal to, I can write this 7n like this. Then what is 5 minus 7? 5 minus 7. Whenever you are having different terms, these different signs, this is having a positive, isn't it? So what you need to do, you are supposed to say, okay, 5 minus 7, different signs, isn't it? So whenever you are having different signs, this is just the same as 7, have you seen negative 7 plus 5? These two are just the same. I've just like swapped them. So these two are just the same. So the concept is the same. Different signs, you subtract, then maintain the sign of a bigger number. So 7 minus 5, that is a 2. Then which one is bigger? 7 or 5? It is 7 having a negative. So even the answer there will carry a negative. So this is the answer. And this is how you are supposed to answer it. So I guess you are getting something, and by the end of the day, you need to make sure that you are able to do what? You are able to answer even exam questions. I also talked about the sum of the nth term. Under AP, when you are told to find the sum of the nth term, the formula that you are supposed to use, you say, you do this, you put n, which is equal to n over 2. You put these brackets, that is 2a plus, open brackets, n minus 1 cross d, then you do this. So this is a particular formula that you need to use when you are told to find the what? The sum of the what? Nth term. So the key thing is just knowing the formula, because you know that n, the number of terms. You are told to find the sum of the first 6 terms. So you know sum of first 6 terms, n is 6, a first term, n sum of terms, d common difference. You substitute. So what is important is knowing the formula. Once you know the formula, things become that easy. Let us now proceed and look at one more last question. I see how you are going to answer it. So you can also have a question in this form. You may be given a question in this form. So this is another form. So questions get to come in different ways. So I want you to see how this particular question is. So you are told to say the third and fourth term. So this is AP. Some of you will think as if this is GP. So you are told to say that the third term, they're telling you to say that the third term is what? The third and, so the question is saying that the third and fourth term, the third and fourth what? And fourth term of an AP, so of an arithmetic progression, so of an AP are 6 and what? And 3. They've given you these two values. They've also used the word respectively. So they have said they are what? 6 and 3 respectively. Then the first question, they're telling you to say find. Find what? A, you are told to find the first term. They want you to find the what? They want you to find the first term. Secondly, they want you to find the formula for the what? Formula. They want you to find the formula. So they want you to find the formula for the what? Formula for the nth term. Formula for the what? Formula for the nth term. So these are two different questions that we are given. How can we now answer them? For us to answer these two questions, they are saying that the third and fourth term of an arithmetic progression are 6 and 3 respectively. This is to tell you that the same way they are followed here, this is how they are. So meaning that the third term is what? The third term is 6. And the fourth term is what? The fourth term is 3. So these are two values that we are given. We are given the third term and also the what? The fourth term. This. Find the first term. How can we find the first term? We need to use the formula for the nth term, because what we are told here, they are telling us to say third and fourth term. So the formula we are going to use is the formula for the terms. So I say this one, then I say, okay, the formula for the terms, it is this one, a plus n minus 1, then a d. I substitute. Have you seen Tn, T3? So where there is n, we are putting a what? A 3. So T3, which is equal to, first term we don't know. We just do this. Plus, have you seen? But we know that n is what? We know that n is what? N is 3. Have you seen? N is 3. So 3 minus 1, it is 2. 2 times d, that is 2 what? 2d. We know that T3 is 6. So where there is this thing, it is the same as 6. 6 is equal to A plus 2D. This, we name it as equation 1. So we name this as equation 1. I go to that one now. I write the same formula. Tn is equal to, so A plus n minus 1, then d. I do the same thing. So T4 is equal to 3. So where there is n there is 4. So meaning n is 4. So A, 4 minus 1, 3. 3 times d, that is 3d plus what? 3d. So what we are going to do next here, I know that the fourth term is what? 3. So this is 3 is equal to A plus 3d. I name this as equation 2. Have you seen there is equation 1 here and there is equation 2? We know that simultaneous equations are phased out. But have you seen where we are applying the simultaneous equations? On these questions, this is the reason why it is very important as a student to know how to solve a simultaneous equation. In as much as we know that those things are phased out of the syllabus, but we are applying the concept here, just here. So if you don't know how to solve a simultaneous equation, there is a challenge here now. You can't further go So what we are going to do here, I'm going to do this. I get this equation 1. That is just the A plus 2D, which is equal to 6. This one, equation 2, this is just same as A plus 3D, which is just equal to 3, like this. I'm going to use elimination method here. You can use any method that you are comfortable with. Me, I'm going to go with elimination, where I'm going to subtract both equations. So A minus A, it is a 0. What is 2 minus 3D? I'm going to get negative what? Negative D. This is the one I'm going to get negative 3D, which is equal to, then what is 6 minus 3? That is a 3. So with these answers, I divide both sides by negative 1, even there by negative 1. So therefore, D is equal to what? Negative 3. This is my answer. But I'm not told to find the common difference. The question is telling me to find the common what? The first term. So I get one of these what? Equations. Then where there is D, I put negative 3. So what am I going to do? I say that I get that one. A plus 2D is equal to 6. So A plus 2, D is negative 3, then which is equal to 6. I want us to think critically here. I'm going to say equals. What is 2 times negative 3? You get negative 6, isn't it? So negative 6, when it goes the other side, here we are having 6. So when this negative 6 moves to the other side of the equation, it becomes a positive. So that is plus 6. Then 6 plus 6, that is 12. So meaning that the first term, this is 12. You are done. You conclude, therefore, the first term is equal to 12. I guess you've seen how I've answered this particular question. So find the formula for the nth term now. You are told to find the nth term. Since we know the common difference, we've got the first term. So how do we find the formula? We substitute in the what? Formula. So we write the formula. This is the formula. Let me just rewrite it. The formula is Tn is equal to A plus, then open bracket, n minus 1, then D, like this. Where I'm going to say that T, this is equal to, what is the first term? First term, 12. So my 12 there, okay? Plus n will be maintained. So n minus 1. What is the common difference? Negative 3. So this is now equal to what? I maintain 12. Negative 3 times n. That is negative 3n. Negative 3 times, negative 1 times negative 3. I get positive 3. So I'm going to have something like, therefore, the formula for the nth term is equal to, what is 12 plus 3? That is what? 15 minus 3n. So this is the formula for the nth term. You are done. This is how you just need to answer it. So the same way I've answered this is how you also need to be answering your questions in an exam. I've taken a lot of time explaining this particular question. So let me just touch another matter or another part, which is probability. So probability is so simple. We just finish it because I don't want to give you a lot of things that will end up confusing you. We just need to be going bit by bit, but we need to make sure that every day we are doing up something that is adding up to the marks that we are going to get in an exam. First of all, when we are looking at this particular word called probability, so you need to understand that probability, this is just the likelihood of events ought to happen. So the probability of events happening is what? 1. So probability of events that are happening, you need to understand that probability of events happening, that is what? That is 1. And the probability of events not happening. So the probability of events not what? not happening. If events are not happening, the probability is a 0. So this is what you need to understand. So what does it mean? When I tell you to say that the probability of going to school, so when I say that the probability, so the probability of what? The probability of going to school. The probability of going to school is what? Is 5. You know that, let me also comment on this. Answers under probability should range from 0 to 1. Answers are just between that. You never find an answer to be 1.2. All the answers will be 0 point something or fractions. So we say, okay, this, I will say the probability of going to school is 0.2. Then I tell you, find the probability of not going to school. Probability of not going to school. What is the probability of not going to what? Not going to school. So when you find such questions, you just subtract from 1. You say, okay, the probability of not going to school. You just say 1 minus the probability that is given 0.2. In this case, when you subtract here, you get 0.8. So this is the answer. This is the probability of not going to school. So what am I trying to say here? When you are given the probability, one probability, to find another probability, you just need to subtract from what? From 1. So in this case, you are given the question to say that we may put up a question to say that the probability, so this is example 2. So we may say that the probability, so the probability, this word is probability. The probability of Monica. So I'm going to say that the probability of Monica waking up. So the probability of Monica waking up late is what? Is 0.3. This is the probability of Monica waking up late. Then they're telling you to say, what is the probability that she will wake up early? They're telling you to say, find what? Find the probability. The probability, so find the probability that she will wake up early. She will wake up early. This is a question. So how can we answer this question? I've already told you. So for paper 1, this is the only thing you need to understand. So the probability of Monica waking up early, we just say 1 minus what? 0.3. So 1 minus 0.3, what is the answer? 0.7. So the answer there is what? 0.7. So this is it. You are done. This is how you are supposed to be answering such questions. So we always say 1 minus what? 1 minus the given probability. So this is what you are supposed to do. And this is how you need to be answering questions that gets to come in an exam. So let us look at one more last question. Then I give you 2 questions from the same thing that I've just explained here. So this is how we are going to be going. Some topics are some kind of deep, like when we are answering, there are some things that get to be involved, but we just need to make sure that we are able to get 1 or 2 things. So here we are going and moving, progressing. So here we are now, we've done 2 things here. So from what we did, I've added 2. So when I give an exercise, I'll push in these 2 things that we've just covered. Let's say you are given a question to say that the probability, they are telling you, so I don't know if this is question number 3. So I'll say that the probability, this is what I'm going to say, the probability that the probability that a boy will do what? Will be late. The probability that the boy will be what? The boy will be late for school. The probability that a boy will be late for school on a particular day. On a what? On a particular day. Those of you that have been going through exam questions, you are going to agree with me that you saw this somewhere. Is what? Is X. They're telling you that it is X. Then what they are saying, find what? Find in terms of X. In terms of what? in terms of x. Find in terms of x the probability. The what? The probability. So in terms of x, the probability that he will be what? That he will not be late for school. For what? For school. So have you seen the way questions do come? A question like all these things, they're just playing around with your mind. So they're saying the probability of a boy being late for school on that particular day is X. So what is the probability that this boy won't be late for school? I've already told you. You just say 1 minus X. Do we know the X? We don't know. So this is the answer. You are done. So this is the what? The answer. So this is the probability that the boy won't be what? Not late. So say the probability of not late for school is what? Is here. Like this. So 1 minus x. That is the answer. But they try by all means to confuse you and to make sure that you look at this question as if there are a lot of things that you need to do. Find in terms of x. Some of you even get to be confused. In terms of x again, how can I answer this question? So this is where we are going to end from. Thank you so much for your attention. Let me now give you some questions that you need to answer. Thank you.